Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin the Scarecrow. Thanks for being here tonight with all of us. We're glad to be back. We're happy to be back. Bummed that we missed you guys for a week. We went through some troubles. Well, we're going to get into it. Let's hit the rundown. We got, the Imperial Ice Strike took out our shield generator. Boy, did it. But the Tauntauns kept us warm. And we are back on the Yellow Ricks Road and ready for the rundown. We got Question of the Week, Imperial Ice Strikes on Hoth. We're going to tell you guys about it. So many leaks, news, and Andor. Oh my. So kiss Kansas goodbye as we head into an ice storm of a show. We got Nick the Lion. He is a lion because he is not here. So instead we have Toto the battery. What's up, Toto? He can't speak right now. Don't worry about it. And then we got Dan the Tin Man. What is up, Dan?
Not much. How you guys doing? Dan the Tin Man. They call me the Din Man.
The Din Man.
It's like Din Djarin.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm thawed out. The frozen heart found love. And now I'm thawed out.
I love that. That is really
That's great.
I'm thinking of it all week.
Yeah. Well, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. We've had so much time, and that's the best we can do.
Yeah, and we do have the Tauntaun to keep us warm.
We do. Thank goodness.
This is the only survivor.
That's the only survivor of the ice storm.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. And you heard her. You know her. You love her. It's the one, the only, the fact checker. What's up, fact checker? Yeah. Dorothy, the fact checker.
Yeah, I know. I got to get my ruby red slippers out. Forgot.
Yeah. Ruby reds.
They're just buried under some trees, so I'm cutting my way out.
Nice.
Or chopping. Chopper.
Why didn't you click your heels together 3 times and get us out of this crazy ice storm?
That would be
That's
even
true.
faster.
I don't know.
That would have been so much better. That's
Sorry.
okay. You can't win them all.
Next time.
Yes. Next time, click your heels together. Next time we have an emergency. Okay.
Yeah. Click your heels together. Get those ruby red slippers already.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And you already know me, the Scarecrow, Dustin. That's Dan. I can hit buttons. And yeah. Just like the fact checker said, there's no place like home. Click those heels together. All right, let's get into things. We got a lot to get to. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us so we can continue to grow this wonderful community together. Because with all of us together, we make Star Wars.
But nice, soft, warm butter.
Rich, creamery
butter. Not the frozen kind of butter, like when you pull it out of the fridge and you try to spread it on something and it's like
frozen.
Rock hard.
Oh, I hate that.
That's the worst.
And then you go and put it in the microwave, but you can never get the right amount.
Right, and you put it in too long and it turns into
just
soup.
melts. So it doesn't get soft. It just melts,
just pure melt.
or it's still hard. There's no in between.
No, there's no in between. That's the rule.
That is the rule. Well, that's us. We make Star Wars butter.
Somewhere in
We're
between.
either way too hot or way too cold.
Right.
All right. But yeah, and also I know we have the Gonkers here with us. You guys are why we do this show, and we appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here tonight with us. If you're here, sound off in the comments. We want to hear from all you. Why don't you tell me a few people who are here tonight with us, fact checker?
Yeah, we've got, Dan somehow in the chat as well as on the show, so he's multi-danning.
It's magic.
It's Inception.
Yes, that's right.
Stay on target.
Wizardry.
Inception.
Wizard of Ozadry.
The Wizard of Ozadry.
Man behind the curtain.
Yeah, pay no heed to the man behind the curtain.
Well, we also have Skylark, who recommended that the fact checker needs amethyst purple slippers.
Ooh, that's a
I
good
agree
point.
with that. Yep.
Yeah, you do have the new background. I've been digging it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's nice.
From
Classy.
Hannah.
From Hannah.
Yes, which is awesome.
Moderator on
She's
target.
in the chat.
She's always killing it. Be nice to the moderators, guys, or they will kick you out with prejudice.
Very much.
Kind of Imperial if you think about it.
Yeah, it's
Don't
very
do that.
Imperial, very black and white.
We've had a lot of Imperial things happen. All right, keep going, fact checker. Who
Yeah,
else?
we also have Carla hanging out. Sonia is here. Tamerkins. KG just jumped in. Matt. And I think I said everyone.
Nice.
Oh, Bismo. Shoot.
Yeah, Biz.
Sorry.
We got more to come. I know we got more
Yes.
out there. They'll always be coming. And thank you guys
That's
for
right.
joining us tonight. You guys are amazing. You are the Gonkers. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Well, we got lots to get to, so let's keep moving on here. We have question of the week. Let's jump into question of the week. Question of the week is, what is the coolest sound in Star Wars? Okay, this is, we had some freaky sounds happen, and we'll get more into that in the ice storm, ice attack, Imperial Ice Attack.
Yeah.
But what's the coolest sound in all of Star Wars? Have I given you sufficient time, Dan, to answer this question?
There's
All right.
so many good sounds because Ben Burt is a legend. And I just remember thinking as a kid, like almost every time you heard anything when you were watching Star Wars, like every sound that you heard was something you'd never heard before.
Right.
So like one of them was, of course, the TIE fighters screeching by when the TIE fighters would just rip through space. Of course, I don't know, is there sound in space? Probably not.
It sounds like they're ripping space as they go by. That's the crazy thing.
I mean, you've heard like, ships or planes fly by, fast planes, but they don't sound like that.
They're not screaming at you.
They're
making
literally
like loud booms, but
it's crazy. So I remember that one. I'll say that one to start. There's a lot of other good ones, but that one is quite impressive.
so that's one of your favorites. That's one of your favorite all-time favorite sounds.
That's got to be one of my all-time favorites. I love that in Andor too. When season 1, when it flies by,
Yeah.
that is like probably the perfect example of that.
and terrifying. Like when it's so loud. Like
It's
it
scary.
isn't. It's almost like how motorcycles actually purposely put louder exhaust so people hear them coming.
Yes.
It's almost like that, but in the Empire, it's almost like an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Like
because they always release like 1,000 of them at once.
Right. So it's like
mean-
the Empire is here and we're screaming at you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That sounded like
It's
a
a scary
cowardly
thing.
line, but a bad version of the
Good,
cowardly line. Sorry, I can't do that. It's like a high pitched like scream.
Yeah. Of the
TIE
TIE Fighter?
Fighter?
Yeah. It's a very
Should we all do
high
our best
frequency.
impersonations?
No, I can't. I can't. I don't know.
You still got Tauntauns dying on the brain.
It doesn't work. I don't know.
Well, that's okay.
And we need Ben Burt to recreate it.
That's a really difficult sound to recreate now. that I'm
Very
thinking about
difficult.
it. All right, fact checker. What about you? You got an answer for us. What's your favorite sound in all of Star Wars?
I don't know. Should you go first? I don't want to take yours.
No, go ahead. I have many.
You have many. Oh, okay.
Call an audible.
I was just going to say the lightsaber ignition
Boom.
is pretty huge. You
That-
know what it is, even if you're
Huge.
not a Star Wars fan.
Exactly. Yeah, that is
Not saying I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm just saying
not a Star Wars fan.
in general.
You're not a Star Wars fan?
No, I am.
What? In
No,
the
just say.
sandhill?
Okay, I won't say.
That's okay.
But yes, the lightsaber is pretty iconic.
Good one. Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
That's really good. That's a really good one. I do like that one. That was probably one of the most classic, like above them all. But I'm gonna go. Although I do really love lightsaber, one of my favorite sounds / non-sounds in all the Star Wars is the seismic charge that you
nice.
get from Boba Fett's ship in Attack of the Clones,
yeah.
baby. And it's more the absence of sound with the explosion. It's so cool. That whole sequence, oh man, that's legendary.
It
With
is.
everything else mixed in there. I mean, you could argue. Actually, what's the chat saying? I'm sure the chat's saying a few, and then I'll kind of throw out some more.
Yeah, they have great answers. Actually, Icy is here too.
What's
He
up,
said,
Icy?
hopefully he didn't send the storm our way.
I don't know.
The Imperial Army wasn't Icy.
We're not going to blame you this time. but
this time. Next time.
it happens
Watch
again.
Yeah, if it happens again, we'll be suspicious.
yeah, right.
Oh no. But he actually said seismic charge, no doubt.
Oh, there
No
you
question.
go.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
So
dude.
good.
And then Matt said the TIE Fighter engine. So
Yeah,
same
we're
as
on the
what you
same
think,
page
Dan.
length.
Yep.
Nice.
KG said the Imperial Alarm.
Yeah,
That's a good
that
one.
is very iconic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say something like that too, but yeah, that's
Okay.
fantastic. You guys are so good.
They are so good. KG also said the Willem scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that even
That-
transcends Star Wars because
Yeah.
they put that in other movies.
Like Indiana Jones, all the Lucasfilm stuff, right?
I think they put it in other movies too.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how, but I think they have it in a bunch of other movies because I'm always like, that was a Wilhelm scream. That was a Wilhelm scream. And it brings me joy every time I hear the Wilhelm scream.
It does.
Anywhere, which is kind of bad in some ways because usually it's like somebody like either falling
Yeah,
to
Dustin.
death or
Yeah, it's not always a happy ending,
But
but
I'm-
it's a fun sound when they die.
Their pretend death really brings me joy.
That's right. It's all fake anyway.
All right. What else? Was that you?
Yeah, I don't know what else. Let's see.
Who else in the? I mean, in the
Yes,
chat.
sorry. Okay.
Are you juggling? You're
No.
juggling.
Skylark said, I love the sound of Sebulba's pod racer when it zooms past the screen.
No,
Mm.
like that. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
was-
that's pretty good.
I was practicing that for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. But yeah, that's a really good one. There's some really good sound. Actually, in the prequels,
Yeah, there
I'd say
was-
the sound design is pretty. I mean, throughout all of them,
Yeah.
even with the technology they had in the originals, it's still impressive. The kind of sounds they were able to
Because
produce.
sometimes a cheap sound effect will destroy a scene. Would you all not agree with that?
Oh yeah, if it
Yeah.
just
I
sounds
would
like
agree with that.
There's a bunch of sometimes there's some
Yeah.
like, oh no, they're just reusing that.
it's like a rubber. Like they go to do something epic and it's like a rubber duck.
yeah. Like
You gotta hit something.
It just doesn't. Like that didn't hit like I thought it should. Like when Indiana Jones punches, like the
Yeah.
whole world shakes because it's so over the top. But
It's so over the top.
But it works.
is
You
not
feel it.
Anything that a punch sounds like.
no, but you feel it.
It's like a thunderclap.
yeah, exactly. It's so crazy. But
That wasn't very good. I'm
That's pretty
sorry.
good.
I spit everywhere too.
Classic.
yeah, that's
man.
pretty good.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's still a few more.
me up.
KG also said Vader's breathing.
Yes.
That's iconic.
I was gonna mention that when nobody else did, but you guys, you gonkers, you're so good. I don't know. I did the pinchies like Dan. Pinchers up, right, Dan?
Yeah, if you want. I was saving it for later, but
Sorry. What else?
Okay, and then Tamerkin said the pew pew of blaster fire is a favorite of hers. Classic,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That is the one
Definitely.
hondo percent.
and it's just so fun to say pew pew.
Yeah, and that
it
sounds.
sounds like pew pew.
The crazy thing about that sound is they actually went to a tower, and the cable that attaches the tower to the ground, they actually were just hitting that with like a wrench, and it
Wow.
made that.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
That's awesome.
I was like, that's genius. I mean,
is
they just
genius.
use the things around them.
Yeah.
Like the old school TV is how they got the hum for the lightsaber.
Yep.
That is so
Like
cool.
so many of those.
And you
They're
don't know until
fascinating.
you try it. Like I get sound effects and then I'll drop them in on a shot and like you don't even know. I don't even know what's going to work all the time, but you try it and you're like, that definitely does not work. You know it works when it sounds right. It just works. Yeah, there's other times but it's just terrible or it's perfectly funny.
Yeah.
In which case I'll add it 100 times.
Even if it doesn't fit the scene.
Doesn't have to fit. If it's
If it's
funny,
funny,
then it's going
that
in.
trumps everything in our opinion.
I also think Gonk is iconic, and unfortunately, we don't have the sound effect,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah, the
still
gong
is.
joy.
Reveal
Yep.
behind the man
Well,
behind the
no.
curtain.
Sorry.
And
He's sick today.
Did you
He
know
can't
that?
speak.
I think it was in the originals. They wanted to use the seismic charge. They had that around in the
Yes.
in the originals.
You're correct, sir.
But they wanted to use it as the sound of what?
I think it was the Death Star explosion.
Okay.
He was creating it to be the sound of the Death Star exploding.
Okay.
But Lucas didn't.
George Lucas.
They didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It didn't feel like big enough for the explosion that was happening then.
Yep.
And at that time, it might not have even come across the same way
Yeah.
as the technology they had. What, like 20, 30 years later? 20
Well,
years later?
Lucas had to reinvent sound design for his movies.
Right.
THX and all the surround sound stuff wasn't in existence. So then once it came out, it worked better in the prequels. But it's crazy to think that was still around in the original trilogy. The
Yeah,
seismic
that
charge,
he was
he had created
coming up with that idea even back then.
Yeah.
And it's smart to reuse like ideas that you had previously that just didn't work for that specific thing, to your point, but you keep it and use it for something that does really
Well,
work
because they got paid to like walk around for like months and just like with a handheld recorder, just record everything.
right.
Animals and zoos, like power lines, cars driving by, planes. They were at all these different places in lab coats,
Yeah.
and people didn't know what they were doing.
what the-
Sometimes they broke in and they would record sounds and leave really quickly.
Like what? The,
But they
what
got
just
they got
happened?
paid. Yeah, I'm like, what a job. That'd be awesome.
That would be pretty fun, actually. It's like funny watching those people that do the sound design and they're like stepping in with like wood
Yeah.
clogs or something. You're
Foley.
like, what? Yeah, that's what it's called, isn't it? Foley.
Yep,
Yeah.
Foley. That's
Some
so
weird
cool.
stuff.
It's so neat.
Yeah. Anyway, good stuff.
Sorry.
Great. You have one more.
Skylark also said the echo of a speeder bike on Endor.
Ooh, that does
Yeah.
sound pretty good.
Very
yes. Even the way they panned it, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
pretty sweet.
The,
Oh,
the
that's fun.
Doppler effect.
Yeah. Ooh, now we're getting fancy with
The chat
all
likes
spices.
the facts, the sound effects
The
facts.
sound effects.
The sound effects.
Shadow facts.
I was just thinking that. I almost said that. Wow. What is Shadowfax, Dan?
It's the horse that what's his name rides on.
Yes, and
what's his
The
name?
king of all horses.
Boom! You get a prize. You get a Tauntaun Shadowfax.
Oh wow.
You can be warm for a week.
You can be one for me. Seriously.
That's true. Yep.
Speaking of which, we are going to get into that. But did you have a poll out there, Factor? Do you want to hit it now? No, we'll get to it in the ice storm. Actually,
I closed it already.
Well,
so
fine.
I don't know if
All
I
right.
have the details.
The poll is closed.
Oh, the poll is closed.
Oh, no,
Polls are closed.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. We can come.
It was just a pre-show poll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that we could use it though for our actual ice storm.
I
situation.
didn't know.
People
No,
are
that's
gonna.
totally fine.
There's still mail-ins coming in. So
Oh,
I can
golly.
reset it if you want.
No. You're good. All right, we're gonna keep moving here.
Fat O'Shacks. That's right. We had that in the previous stream.
We did.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Fat O'Shacks.
I love Lord of the Rings, man. You are that is. Yeah, let's move on. All right, next week we have Talent on Target, baby. We have Rise of the Fans. It is where you get to submit, you audience members, you gonkers out there get to submit your art to us on Stay on Target. This theme that we got going on right now is Andor themed because Andor is right around the corner. We've been following the Yellow Ricks Road right to Andor Season 2, and we'd love to see your art. So your art could be a drawing, a painting, similar, sculpture, a song, interpretive dance. It has to be appropriate for our show, and Jana, we will deem that, so please do not be offended if we do not show what you've given us, but we do have to vet it a little bit. But anybody who does enter will get a small prize, and you'll see what it is next week. It should be fun. And we'll also give a random winner. Random selection, it gets a slightly bigger prize. I'm saying slightly bigger because budgets are a thing. All right, but anyway, we're super excited about that. So the last day you can get your entries in is April 16th. All right, so we want to see. That's what you told me.
Well,
Are
that's
you
the
changing?
day. No, that's the day of Talent on Target. Can we
I'm
at
sorry.
least say
I'm
the
sorry.
15th?
15th
I'm
at
sorry.
midnight.
Yes, I got that
At
wrong.
midnight,
That's
yeah.
my bad.
Preferably by like this weekend or Monday, but I mean,
What's
we
the
can
actual? Okay, what's the actual date that they have to have it in? by?
Tuesday, the 15th.
Okay, Tuesday the 15th is the absolute last time, and it has to be
Yes.
before what time? At night.
11:59.
Yeah,
Eastern
time. All right, cool. So that's the cutoff. We'd love to see your talent, and we'd love to showcase it here because with Star Wars fans are what keeps Star Wars alive, especially in kind of a dark time we're living in, arguably. So we will want to showcase your art here, your fans. You guys are awesome, and we want to showcase that. So that's coming out next week. We're excited for that.
Yeah,
All right.
Got a few coming in, and might have a secret one in the works
Secret
as well.
Secrets.
So it should be fun.
Should be fun.
Secret.
Make fun of that.
Sorry.
Oh, a secret entry into the thing?
Maybe.
Oh. See.
Just a little tease for you.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
stuff. It's always a fun time.
It is always a fun time.
Can't wait to see what
blast.
people come up with.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
use
so
the
much fun.
creativity.
And
There's
if you
so
guys
much
want a taste of it, if you're new here, you can go back to our live stream of it was Gonkmas. It was Mary. No, it wasn't
No,
Mary
it was
Gonkmas. I'm sorry.
Gonksgiving.
Gonksgiving. Wow, I can do
The
it.
other holiday.
The other holiday. It
Your
was
favorite.
Gonksgiving. Yeah, that's my favorite holiday. But if you want a little taste of that, that was a blast. We had so much fun. It was also when we first introduced Battery. Which, speaking of Battery, we got War of the Cosmic Tyrants. That doesn't really tie in.
Yeah, I
but it
wondered.
might.
Oh, there's
That's
a
a little
tease.
tease there. We got War of the Cosmic Tyrants. It is our Star Wars D&D, and it is back next Friday, April 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you missed the previous episodes, you got plenty of time now to go and watch and listen, or just listen. They are a fun time. I guarantee that you will laugh at some point. They're not all for kids as much. It's obviously, I don't think it's anything bad necessarily,
No.
but it's just I don't know if kids are really going to enjoy it as much as adults or teens or something like that. But anyway, it's a good time though, pretty much for everybody. It's a fun story. It's our own story in Star Wars, and we think you guys will have a blast along the way. So, and we're really excited about it. It's been going well. People have been having a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun, and it's something different in Star Wars. That's why we wanted to create it, was because We want something fun and engaging in Star Wars right now. I know it's not big production stuff like that, but it's a fun story. It's original. It's a homebrew and all that stuff. So definitely check it out if you guys have the time. It's a blast. Let us know what you think too. We love criticism, constructive criticism. I can say words. It's been a while since we've done this. But all right, we're going to move on. We'd love for you guys to check that out. And tell your friends about it too. We want to continue to grow it.
And thanks for Bismo for sharing it.
Yes, thank you,
As well.
Fact Checker. Thank you, Bismo. Bismo is the man. He also shared it on his channel and gave us some love during our Imperial Ice attack last week, which was awesome. If you haven't yet, definitely check out his channel. Mm-hmm. He is a friend of the show. He's been on the show many times. Actually, our first guest we ever had on our show. And definitely go over to his channel, check it out. He's got lots of excellent Star Wars and just content in general. He's a good time, and he's a fantastic gamer, too. He's been doing some gaming streams, and it is fun to watch along.
Yeah, I think he's doing a big one this Saturday.
I heard about that, yes. I'm very excited about that
me too.
one. So definitely go check it out and watch along and listen and comment. Tell him that we sent you, too. We like that. That's fun. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to continue on here, and we're going to jump into... the Imperial Ice Strike on Hoth. So we're not going to dwell on this too long, but we're going to give you a little bit of an update. And why we weren't here last week is because the area we live in on Hoth was attacked. Not really. It was a weather event, if we're going to be candid about it. But we think the Empire sent it. But it was probably the biggest storm that we've had in our area for about 100 years, they said, for ice, specifically ice storm. People are still without power. It's going on 2 weeks for people in certain areas. And it's crazy. It's just crazy. Some people they categorize almost as a Category 5 hurricane that stayed.
Or I think also EF5 tornado.
Yeah, but it stayed, and it just got worse, and they couldn't fix anything and help people because
it just kept getting worse.
So that's what happened to us. So we were without power all of last week. Dan, I don't even think you have internet yet, do you?
We just got it back last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I still don't have it, but that's okay. I'm enjoying yours.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Fact checker. Yeah. So, and also part of the reason why Nick's not here tonight, he still does not have power or internet, anything like that. So it's a pretty bad situation that's happened here. Unfortunately, I think some people have lost their lives. Unfortunately, really sad about that, of course. Yeah. Our thoughts, our prayers are going out to their families. And speaking of some of the sounds, it was crazy. So just to kind of explain a little bit here, the accumulation of ice that happened on all the trees and all of the wires, the electrical wires, it's like what, a half inch adds like a ton of weight. Even if you get a half inch ice.
I think it's like a half inch of ice, a quarter of an inch of ice, between two telephone poles or, where you have power, is like 500 pounds.
Wow.
Right.
For a quarter of an inch of ice. And we had
an inch and a half.
An inch and a half in some spots, which I think we had about an inch and a half. We might have had an inch and a quarter. So that's like 2,500 pounds.
That's nuts.
Give or take.
Right.
Some 3,000 pounds. Yeah, so everything just snapped.
Yeah, everything did.
Yeah,
telephone poles.
Maybe not right away.
All of them.
Some things survived after the first day.
Yeah,
but then it just stayed because it was still cold, and
it kept getting more.
Yeah, and it kept getting more, and then we had like a double down. Like a couple days later, there was a bunch more.
Right, and wind and
and the wind. And if we didn't need that, the wind pushed some things down, and all the tops of the trees and
And it was weird too because it's like people coming, if you're coming from an area that didn't have the ice or anything like that, and you get to our area, it's just trees, like limbs everywhere on the ground.
Yeah,
trees pushed over, the tops of trees all snapped off. I mean, there's telephone poles snapped or just missing because they took them out for like miles in certain places. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of destruction that's happened over the last week here on Hoth was absolutely insane for us. So that is why we weren't here. We would have been if we could have been. So we've just been doing a lot of cleanup, helping as many people as we can as well.
Yep.
So,
well, I mean, what you had about 5 days without power, 6 days?
I think I went 7. 7?
6. Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah, about 6 days.
Yeah, same for me. But, it's like, how long have you ever gone without power? I don't know.
Right.
And your house your house is still standing. But you know
Thank
what I mean?
goodness.
Because a lot
Right.
of places like where a tornado comes through, like you don't have power, but you also don't have a house.
Right. Of course.
Or like you don't have power, but the roof is ripped off your house. So you ain't living there anyway.
Right.
Till it gets fixed. But like our houses were standing. Some people had trees on their houses, and they had to leave or whatever. But like or branches through the roof or whatever.
I saw a lot of that actually.
Yeah, and the more rural you are, of course, the more in the woods. We do live in the woods, or there's a lot of trees around us. You know?
Yeah, in this part of
And
Hoth.
we're used to like 75,000 inches of snow. We've had a record-setting
We
amount
already
of
had
snow
a
on
record-setting
Hoth.
year of snow on Hoth where
But
we're
this
at.
kind of stuff just destroyed the infrastructure, and that's what's just bonkers. You're like, how do you can't even fathom like so many thousands of people without power? Everybody, and not just everybody, but like the you're like, oh well, I'll just text somebody. You're like, no, you can't text anybody because all the cell phone towers snapped.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, I'll just
cell phone
go
towers,
get
radio
some.
towers.
I'll go to the gas station and get some. No, they don't have power either, and they don't have gas. And then when you go to get gas, you only pay cash. It was like apocalyptic. You're like,
Yeah, for where we live. I mean, obviously, it's still kind of first world problems in some ways, but
Yeah.
it was more the danger of like falling trees,
Falling ice.
falling tree limbs. It was dangerous to be out, and some areas they couldn't get to some areas for days because there were so many trees that they had to cut down to pass.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to be standing underneath the trees to go somewhere because it was widowmakers everywhere.
it was.
There still are. That's the crazy thing.
It's
We're still
still
living
dangerous.
in a bit of a
you
apocalyptic.
wear a hard hat everywhere you go, or a helmet, or an Imperial helmet, or something.
Yeah, so if you guys
Definitely
caught
recommended.
our little short that we did, I was Dan was hauling basically a tree like a beast.
It's a small tree.
And then I was using a pole saw to chop some things, not very well, but you got to do what you got to do. And I still have a ton that I got to clean up still.
I looked,
We all do. But anyway,
But we're also fortunate. I mean,
Yes.
for being on Hoth, a lot of people are kind of preppers, not like crazy people, but have
Yeah.
supplies, and we're able to hunker down together. Where there were generators and really support the community, which was just absolutely incredible. So we can survive. We're tough.
I know that was kind of one of the coolest things about it, and I don't want to linger on this too long, but
Yeah.
was the fact that everybody, I mean, all my neighbors, I feel like a lot of neighbors, a lot of people just in the community as a whole kind of came together in Hoth to help each other out. We're checking on each other, like, are you good? Are you good? I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I definitely did the same thing. I was trying to help out as many people as I could through the whole event, but it was just cool to see everybody band together, and that we can tie that back into Star Wars in some ways, for the fact that that's how Star Wars fans, to me, at Star Wars fans' core. I know a lot of people say Star Wars fans are toxic, but I feel like core Star Wars fans and just Star Wars fans in general, for the most part, are actually very endearing, and they want to help each other, and they're rooting for each other. That's the other thing, and they're rooting for Star Wars to be the best that it can be. And it was kind of cool to see that in our community, people come together. And I still believe that the Star Wars fandom can come together. It's just going to take a few wins. I mean, in some ways, we have taken a lot of ice Imperial hits, and that has brought us together in some ways as well. But yeah, so that was why we weren't here last week. Just some kind of craziness that was going on, but we're glad to be back this week and continuing on the road, the Rick's Road. Yeah, and we many a Tauntaun were killed.
KG says, is that a Hoth Guru in front of Daniken there? No, it's a Tauntaun.
Hoth LaRue, yeah.
Hoth Guru, like a kangaroo.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
I
kinda
like
like
that.
it. Yeah, it was crazy. You're right. And I was thinking
go
about
ahead.
that, like, because we don't really get other like crazy weather things where we're pretty protected in a lot of ways, except for a couple years ago.
We had our other 100-year.
Dustin's Studio B almost got destroyed by a tornado.
Yeah, we did. It was crazy. It was a block
But
away.
I realized that was also the year that Andor came out, season 1.
Wow.
And here we are, Andor season 2.
And
Dan,
so
yikes.
every oh no,
Almost didn't make it.
holy cow!
This is the last Andor, right? Season.
It is.
Supposedly.
I don't know if we can make any more.
Yeah, I think it's worth.
This is it, man. They're trying to take us out.
Holy cow!
Empire does not want us to see this.
Yeah.
Does not want us to see Andor
Not one
season
to see
2.
Andor season. The funny thing about it though is when that tornado came through, I bought a generator, and I was looking at that generator like a few weeks ago, and I was like,
What a waste of money.
I was like, I haven't used this thing but once. And I was like, when am I ever going to use this again? I wasn't really. I was like, that's why I have it. It was a just in case situation. But I was like, it felt like I just looked at it and I thought it felt like such a waste that it was just sitting there like doing nothing.
Right.
And then a week later, like 2 weeks later, we have the
Boom.
biggest ice storm and without power for 6 days, and it's powering my home.
And 12 people.
And 12 people in my home to keep everybody alive.
Warm.
Not really. It wasn't that bad, but warm. And
Everybody was literally plugged into the generator, weren't they?
Yeah,
you had 12 people. You had 12 outlets.
Yeah,
right?
it was the Matrix. We were all living into the Matrix.
You just put them in pods.
Yeah.
They went to sleep.
Yeah. No, I was like,
Dude.
no, actually, I was like, come on over. We need the body heat.
That's true
It's
too.
so warm.
You know, when it's cold and you have no power or heat, it's
Right.
cold.
It was cold. So anyway, thank you everybody who did reach out to us and was sending us well wishes. Bismo, Matt, I know a lot of people out there. All you gonkers were checking in on us. The Roll Twins. Thank you guys all so much for looking out for us and praying for us and just helping us through this time. We're glad we're kind of on the other end of that. Obviously, Dan and Fact Checker are still. Nick, sorry, and many others out there, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Anybody still affected by this, and
Well, and the other unfortunate weather events happening
Right, there's been a ton.
globally, tornadoes,
So many.
flooding, earthquakes. I mean, obviously we're not alone in experiencing crazy weather. So
Right.
yeah, prayers to everyone. Be safe, be prepared.
Don't be
stay on
scared.
target.
Be prepared.
yeah, always stay on target. That's the thing. And speaking of staying on target, let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming.
What's up, JQ?
What's
It's
up,
been
JQ?
a while, guys.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Are you excited for
up?
Andor season 2? Yeah, we thawed out KG. It's supposed to be above freezing in a couple of days, so we're gonna get warm.
We might actually get spring sometime. On
Might get
Hoth,
spring, yeah.
at least where we live.
A couple of dead flowers.
Damn. They haven't popped yet.
Yeah,
They haven't.
Mine are growing.
I saw some.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
we might have to
A
post.
week ago, yeah.
I did take a
Crazy.
photo of one of the trees that was semi blooming.
yeah.
Oh, I know
And it
all
was-
the
and it was
buds.
frozen.
That's what I'm
I have a
saying.
cool
Yeah.
picture. Maybe we'll upload that to the channel.
Yeah, I wanted a
so you guys can-
slideshow. That's what I want. I want a
Okay, well,
slideshow.
Look,
Can we just
piecing
share some
back
pictures
together.
on
On
Instagram
the member
and
stream.
community? Oh, okay.
All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah, Instagram's
Yeah.
better.
And if you guys want to help the channel even more so, liking and subscribing, telling your friends, that's the best
yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
But if you want to help even more, I haven't plugged this in a while,
Uh-oh.
but we do have a merch store.
Oh, we
and
do.
If you want to get some Stay on Target merch.
We got to add a frozen Hoth one. Well, we have one on there. That's,
Yeah, but we could do something else.
Well, I mean, it looks like ice,
It does.
like an ice circle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we could just
The logo.
Yeah, the logo. Let's just throw that one up. That would be perfect. Yeah. So if you guys want to support us there, we greatly appreciate it. I think Fact Checker's going to throw up the link, and you guys can check it out. Obviously, no pressure, but it's just some fun stuff, and it definitely helps us out here on the channel. All right, cool. Let's keep moving. There's been a ton of leaks, and specifically from one video. I was surprised by this video. I actually caught it from Star Wars Theory. He reacted to it, and then I followed it, and it was Den of Nerds. So Den of Nerds just came out with a crazy video that leaked a bunch of things, and from what I can tell, he apparently is from a source that he trusts quite a bit, and that was accurate for Ahsoka season 1, to the point where also his video got flagged.
Right.
And because of the information he shared, which also I feel like does lend some credibility to these leaks. So we're gonna run down these leaks quickly here.
Are we allowed to run down leaks? What if people don't want to be leaked?
Well, if you don't want to be leaked, that's a good thing. So just potential spoilers, everyone. Again, these are just rumors. They're potential leaks. They're not confirmed in any way, shape, or form. If you want to watch his original video, head on over to Den of Nerds and check out his video, although it's definitely not family friendly. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's funny and entertaining, but just not family friendly. So check it out. It's interesting, but if you don't want to be spoiled, maybe check out now and come back for the live stream for the whatchamacallit live stream that we're doing, the Andor watch along. All right, but we're gonna jump into it here. So if you haven't, we're gonna 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We haven't done this in a long
Everybody
time.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time since we've done
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Crazy. But so let's jump into this. A lot of this is going to be Ahsoka season 2. So a lot of Ahsoka season 2 news has dropped. There's some crazy stuff in this video, so I'm curious to get
because
your
I
takes
think
on
there's
this too,
just
Dan.
are they filming it now, or is it already filmed, or
I think
editing?
they're working on it right now. I think they're in pre-production, but from the sounds of it, they've got a lot of people cast.
Okay, so it's not
And
filmed.
They
it's
might.
just-
Did they
okay.
start filming? I don't know if they started
Let me
filming
look it up.
yet, but
So
fact
all of
checkers
this
checking
stuff is his friend must be in like the casting department or something. There must be some loose ends in the Star Wars / casting department.
potentially. I don't know
Because if they're
for
not,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? Because this isn't like leaks on set. There's set leaks, which are pretty accurate. You're like, oh, we saw this person with that person, you know.
right.
This is like pre-production leaks.
Yeah, so
So,
somebody
like,
who's probably in the know.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, I saw this in the script and I saw this on the thing, and they were yeah.
Yeah, he or she. Although
He or she.
funny enough, Matt says filming was due to start this month.
yeah.
Okay, so they're pretty much ready to rock. So I mean, a lot of the information has to be set for the most part.
Yeah,
but
makes
these things
sense.
are just rumors. Again, we're not saying they're true right here. So take it as you will, and it might have potential spoilers. So season 2 of Ahsoka season 2. The first thing is Abeloth is definitely coming in season 2, and they've definitely casted the person. He said in the video that it's someone pretty epic. I still think that that's possibly Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that's what we had heard before.
That's
maybe.
the rumor that we've heard.
Yeah, Portman.
So, and that's also a theory that he covered on his channel, Dinner Nerds, saying that he actually speculated a long time ago. One of the first ones to speculate Abeloth, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
That's who was calling him potentially Balin Skull. That's who was calling him in Ahsoka season 1, and that makes sense. And Abeloth is pretty trippy, dude. Like that's gonna be interesting as long as they do it right. So I am interested to see Abeloth and how they convey Abeloth from Legends into this, especially with the Mortis arc and everything else. It's just you're getting into some weird, trippy area, though.
Yeah, some
if you don't handle
fantastical-
it well, I think you could lose a lot of people. So I'm hoping they execute it well. I think they will, hopefully. But that's one of them. We're getting tons of Anakin. He's gonna be a mainstay. So not just in like one or two episodes or like a side character just showing up.
Bananakin.
Apparently, Bananakin, Force Ghost Anakin, is going to be throughout
That's kind of cool.
this entire show. And that's also in line with some theories that we've heard before. This wasn't in the video, but where we heard that it was basically going to be a live action Clone Wars.
Yeah, which would be incredible.
Which I'm fine with. Like, that is pretty cool. A live action Clone Wars would. I don't know what the problem I have with it though is the more leaks I hear about this, the less I feel like it's Ahsoka. Like,
well, I
why
think
did
they
we
realize that Ahsoka itself was kind of like, nah, that didn't really work.
Yeah, but are they going to call it Ahsoka season 2, or are they going to change the name to a totally show
I don't
altogether?
know.
Because at this point, if they keep the Ahsoka name, it kind of doesn't make sense.
But it's like all the other shows. Andor's was kind of about Andor in season 1. It was
Yeah.
more about the rise of the rebellion and all of the people around it. So
Maybe they just need to work on their naming.
Yeah.
I feel like they do need to work on their naming of shows, because you're like,
right.
I don't know if that really was the case. But anyway,
Yeah, they need to work on that. But I think it's true. All of the people that Ahsoka ever talked to in her entire life are going to be here.
and is going to meet new people. I
Right.
mean, meeting that's
Now,
fine.
but how do you just bring in Bananakin unless he's the father?
Yeah, and
the
that's,
father.
that's what he speculated in the video. He was
Okay.
speculating that Anakin is actually going to be the father, and then Abeloth
Okay.
being Natalie Portman, which is something that we speculated on,
will be the evil
will
stepmother.
be the mother who went crazy, and then it's gonna show up as Natalie Portman because that is attached to Anakin and be
Gotcha.
this weird thing. I don't know. And it sounds like they're
So then
going really
Ahsoka's gonna like get
cosmic,
married, and Abeloth is gonna be like the crazy bridezilla mom, and she's gonna get all mad. Is that what it is? No, it's like the dad, the
marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today.
Ahsoka's gonna
who's it?
marry. Who's the guy that she was kind of close with? Like
Oh yeah, what's his name?
something like Peanuts or something.
Definitely Peanuts.
Peanuts.
That is canon now.
Charlie Brown was his
and
name.
Ahsoka is going to marry Peanuts. No, I forget his name now, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Oh man, Bismo's here by the way.
What's up, Biz?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many rumors. It's crazy. So I'm pumped though for more Hayden Christensen. I think I think they're really trying to A lot of this sounds like a Hail Mary. I'm going to say that right now. So we're going to keep going, and we'll get back to that. But the next one is Tamora Morrison is confirmed, at least through this rumor.
That's interesting.
That Boba Fett, that he is
That's crazy.
going to be in this show, possibly, though, as Rex. So they're thinking he's going to show up as Rex
sense.
in this show, not as Boba Fett.
Okay.
Although Boba Fett could still show up. He's still around, obviously, in this time frame with Book of Boba Fett.
No one has ever really gone.
No, that's the thing. I mean, he'd be pretty old at this point.
He would be pretty old.
Well, I mean, 5 years after 5 or 6 years of Return of the Jedi, and he's in Return of the Jedi, he's still wielding a blaster. He doesn't look bad. So they did confirm that was him.
I mean, hey, why not? Why not make it an Avengers style and bring them all in? Get them all there.
Yeah. So, Mr. Manrique, these rumors are coming from Denim Nerds, a video. Well, I'll try and post it here if we can, and you can head on over. But again, I want to reiterate, it's not for kids. So if your kids are around, I would not suggest them watching or listening to this video.
He uses 4-letter words.
Yeah, he uses language that we don't condone.
Like, what's one 4-letter word? Hand.
I was like, where are you going with it? We don't condone
I all of a sudden
that.
couldn't think of a word that had 4 letters.
Fart.
Fart.
Some people don't like that word. I think it's funny
true.
in the right circumstance. But Tamora Morrison back as Rex. I think it's
that's-
awesome. That's cool.
How much money are
Again,
they spending on this show?
I
They
know.
got
That's what I
everybody.
want to know. And there's more to come.
Maybe it's all by donation. Maybe they're just like, I'll just show up.
No, that's what I'm saying. This sounds like a Hail Mary. Like,
Okay.
I think they're like, okay, pretty much everything we've done has we're in overtime now, where if we don't score something, we've lost the game. and we're all getting fired.
Right.
And Lucasfilm is going away for a long time.
Could be. It could be.
That's what it's feeling like to me.
But Hayden Christensen is...
And they're just trying to bring out any memberberry type situation and throw them all. It just feels like they're throwing everything at us.
Yeah.
Like, you guys remember this? You remember this? You remember this? You remember this? I mean, as long as it goes well in a cohesive story, I'm fine with.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you're like, what is happening? But the Tamora Morrison also does have a big announcement. That's what he was told in the rumor for Celebration. And the rumor is that that's going to be possibly Boba Fett Season 2, which I'm kind of surprised.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Bob Season 2.
Yeah. But the thing about it
just
for
gotta
me
call
is
him Bob.
I am having a hard time getting excited about some of this stuff just for the fact that the people that are still in charge. Like, it doesn't matter how good the pieces are or whatever you're using if you don't know how to put the puzzle together.
Yeah.
Like, you could have the best pieces ever. It's the most glorious puzzle in the world. But if you don't have somebody who knows how to put it all together to make that masterpiece,
Yeah. It's just a bunch of pieces.
it's just a bunch of pieces.
ugly pieces that don't go together.
Well, they're beautiful pieces, but they
they're
don't go
beautiful
together.
pieces. Oh, that's true. But they don't go together, yeah.
Anyway, that was not a very good analogy, but that was
It takes
all I could
crafting. They did it in the animated world. Every time they would bring in these people, they worked. At least back in Clone Wars, maybe Rebels. They would bring in Leia. They'd bring in this person. It just worked animated, but they could control more of that. But it's
There's so
different
many
in live action.
Yeah, and there's so many more moving parts live action, and I think that's what Dave is struggling with. Because animation, you really have so much control over every story element, and then you already have it all lined out, and then you bring in the actors and stuff like that, and they still obviously have their takes and stuff like that, but it's not nearly as costly
Yeah.
to redo things, to bring in big name actors. I mean, that's the thing. You're dealing animation's on a totally different budget level than live action. Live action is way up here. The stakes are high. Everything is over the top, and it's all experimental really with the whole Disney Plus era. So
It is.
and you're not necessarily getting your money back.
But there's not much else going on right now. So hey, let's just throw it all at Ahsoka and give it to Filoni. Who else is going to lead a show right now? Nobody. And again, we don't know what the status is, but the fact that they're right now putting all this stuff out there, that's pretty.
Right.
That's a lot. Like you said, it's not like they're going away quietly
Into the night.
or whatever's happening. They're right now they are going all in with. Did you read everybody else's name?
No,
on that
I haven't
list?
yet.
It's
so
crazy.
There are more. So there's that's Tamora Morrison. And then we got Ewan McGregor is going to be in the show.
Ewan himself.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's going to be in multiple episodes
Yeah.
as well, kind of similar to Hayden Christensen's role.
Sweet.
There's going to be oh my goodness.
Shirtless.
It sounds like flashbacks. A lot of flashbacks are happening because they also said the Amanda something. It's the young Ahsoka is coming back as well. So a lot of they're going to be doing. That's what the rumor was, the live action Clone Wars, and I think that's what's happening. We're getting basically.
That's pretty cool.
I almost feel like the beginning of each episode might be beginning and end of each episode might be a Clone Wars live action sequence.
That'd be
That's
cool.
just my. I have a feeling
Why
that
not?
might be the way they structure it, which I'd be totally fine with. It might even be a different arc of that time that we didn't see.
Right. Are they going to have like an episode dedicated to Rex, and then it's like flashback, and then current day, and then the next one's going to be an episode with somebody else? No, that wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I mean, but everybody
You could,
else on
but
there.
that'd be challenging for overarching story.
And then
and stuff
George
like
Lucas is going to direct an episode.
that would be crazy.
He's going to be there. He's going to direct the finale, and all of his pieces he's ever played with are in this thing.
Well,
And he gets to write it and put a punctuation mark at it.
I don't think that's happening.
You don't think that'll happen?
That's a Dan rumor, guys. That's a Dan rumor.
It's a leak.
It's
It's
a-
a leak.
We have no sources.
It's an anonymous source. That's what they all do.
That's an anonymous source.
Anonymous
Yeah.
source is my brain.
Watch it comes true. That'd be so funny.
I mean, if you want to get people
freaking
hyped,
love
you got
that.
everything else there. You got
Yeah.
Ewan, you got Anakin.
Yeah, so he's coming back as flashbacks, but possibly in like a Force ghost mode, like they're with like World Between Worlds. It sounds like, from what he's hearing, it sounds like they're doing, with the Mortis arc.
Yeah.
that there might be some more like cosmic entity type stuff, like Force
Okay.
ghost stuff happening in real time, but with flashbacks as well. So it's interesting. I'm not sure how they're gonna. There's so many moving parts and so many moving pieces that it does make me a little nervous.
Well, now you got
in
World-
adapting things.
Yeah,
so,
you got World Between Worlds. You got. I mean, it's just like, what can you do? I mean, they did it in the sequels. They're like, "These are your first steps."
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Rey. Remember that when she had like the vision dream?
Yeah,
thing?
and we like everybody broke that down for like 8 years, and
like, what is that? Who was that?
Who was that? What was that voice? What is that from?
But if you tie that in even to the World Between Worlds, or
Yeah.
whatever happened, if people had alternate endings, Ahsoka's the first person to have an alternate ending. Like she died, but then she returned. How? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, Ganon.
So she's
Gandalf.
They kind of
She's-
broke the rules. Yeah, she's Gandalf.
She's
the
Star
White.
Wars Gandalf. Is
But with
basically.
but they missed it. Remember that? It was different than the animated version. Like they had to change how she
I didn't
looked
like
in live
that.
action.
That actually really bugged me.
It's like, it was the actual thing, but you just didn't. You forgot how you drew.
Yeah, you forgot how you did it.
She didn't have the staff.
Why that kind
That's
of stuff?
attention to detail that drives me
That
crazy.
bugs me. Like,
Yes.
do the staff. If you
Yeah.
did the staff, do the staff. Like,
And
what's the big deal?
That said, the sources Dan told me, bro.
Even the Leku are different and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which isn't
all of
that
it.
one I can understand a little bit more, but I'm sure they could have figured it out. I'm just
It's just with us nerds, we get a little bit bit sweaty.
yeah, and caught up on some of the details, which we let go. But at the same time, it's just like there's small things, and so it doesn't.
Well,
seem like,
they used to care about the little details.
yeah, Lucas did. He 100% cared about. a lot
I think
of
in
those
Andor
details.
they care about the details, but those little nuggets in the background, it's like some people care, and then
I
some people
agree.
get old and senile, and they don't even know what day it is.
That's how it felt during the ice apocalypse.
I didn't
in some
know
ways.
the ice apocalypse. I'm like, where are we?
Yeah, that was crazy. The Imperials, man, they hit hard with ice. It was brutal, man. All right, but yeah, so we got even more though, because we got Ewan, which is crazy.
Well, who
He's
else
coming
is-
back, and then.
But wait, there's more.
But wait,
says
this
KG.
one. Do you want to say the next one, Dan? Say the next one.
Liam Neeson.
Yes. I'm excited about that one. I
Yeah.
love Liam Neeson.
He was in the Obi-Wan show. So I think what happened is they combined all of the shows that they were supposed to do second seasons
They're
of.
just putting it
And
all.
they're like, well, we have him under contract for 2 things. We got to put him
have to
somewhere
put
to
them all
finish
in.
the contract.
Oh my gosh.
So
that
Bob,
makes me more nervous.
Boba Fett has to show up. Liam was there for 5 seconds or whatever, and you got Ewan who wasn't getting his own. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, they're all sitting there. They're on contract. We got to close these things. We got to close
Yeah.
the books. We already paid him. They probably
Well-
paid him $400 million to show up, and they did like 1 season. It was
Yeah,
terrible.
I mean, it's
like
possible.
we don't have to pay him anything. We already paid him their money. Let's get them all. Let's get Lucas while he's here.
Right?
I mean, because it's been how long
happening.
since he's been in it?
Obi-Wan or Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson.
Well, since the
Since
1999 or
21,
whatever.
22
No,
years.
Obi-Wan. He was in
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
The
Because
same
of
year as the
Obi-Wan.
tornado.
Yeah, he was in Obi-Wan.
Was he?
He was at the very end.
That's
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
yeah. Okay, forgot about
Don't-
that. But
no.
that doesn't
Wasn't
count because he didn't really speak. Right?
No, he did. He said
Oh
stuff.
wow. Okay.
I think they showed.
blocked
He
it.
talked early in the season, and then didn't he? They showed him at the end.
I don't even remember. I think they just showed him. I don't think he ever
okay.
said anything. He Obi-Wan like said something to Qui-Gon, but Qui-Gon never like responded because remember he like cut himself off from before. So it was like, dude, you're trying to make a collect call, but you didn't even pick up the phone.
I want to see like, Obi-Wan and
Perfect analogy.
But I thought Neeson, that was the point. He couldn't do Force Ghost abilities because we're like, nope, he didn't know how to do it back in the day. And then he showed up as a Force Ghost.
Yeah, well, I think
So I want to see him and Obi-Wan and Anakin all playing like cards or something.
Sabak.
Is that all of them? Anakin, them. Yeah,
Sure.
those are the only three, right?
So,
Yoda.
Yeah, you got a lot. I want to see because
Mace
Obi-Wan
Windu's not glowing, then he's not dead.
Yeah, what the heck? That's the announcement we really need is Mace Windu. Yeah, he ain't dead. That's why he's gonna show up. You heard it here first, folks. If we're throwing out leaks and rumors, Mace Windu's coming back. Ahsoka season 2. That'd be great if that happens again. I would be laughing
funny.
For sure.
All right, but there's even. But wait, there's more.
Still more. That's
there's
crazy.
still more. It's crazy. Yeah. Again, check out the video if you want. But
I linked it in the description.
thank you, fact checker. You are amazing.
I know.
Now you ruined it by saying that. So
I
now
whispered.
this one I'm really excited about because
Okay.
this is one I think this is actually a Star Wars like an under appreciated like under the radar underdog of Star Wars, but he's a legend in my opinion. It's Sam Witwer. Sam Witwer is coming back as and actually physically portraying, I think, as far as I know, is from this, that he's going to be portraying the son in the flashback. So that's the Mortis arc. There's the father, the son, and the daughter, and technically Abeloth is the mother, blah, blah, blah. But he's going to come back and portray that because he did an excellent job voicing the son and was eerie as all get out and did a fantastic job voicing that character. It'll be great that we finally get to see him in live action Star Wars.
Yeah.
Kind of depressing that it's in Ahsoka season 2 for me because
Well, at
didn't
least
love Ahsoka.
You know who knows details?
It's
Sammy
him.
Witts.
Yeah, and that's all, anytime he gets involved though with a project though for
Yeah.
the most part, as long as they let him have opinions and let him cook, then I think he elevates things in my
Yes.
opinion.
And would he sign on to it if it wasn't good?
He would because it's
Filoni.
it's also his friends. He's developed friendships
sure.
with
Yeah,
Lucasfilm
yeah, I get
and
that.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. I just hope they listen to him.
Maybe he can get Freddie Mercury to come back. By Freddie Mercury, I mean Prince Jr. He's a Force Ghost
Freddie
somewhere,
Prinze
right?
Jr. Yeah, he is.
He should be.
Kanan.
Maybe he didn't know how.
They showed him a picture of Freddie Prince in the
that's
ship.
right.
Remember? So
And
technically is
And isn't he friends with Sammy Witts?
Sammy Witts.
Or
Oh,
they
that's the other
were.
Force Ghost.
Who?
That's the other Force Ghost would be Kanan.
Kanan, yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Sorry.
Wow. There's so many. I just
so
want them
many.
all playing cards or going bowling or something.
Please go bowling. That reminds me of that other YouTuber that does an excellent job doing. He does the deep fakes and he pretends to
Oh
be
yes, Charlie Hopkinson.
Charlie Hopkins. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're just throwing out things at all the other YouTubers.
Why
Just
not?
go watch their stuff.
They're
What are you
good.
doing here?
They're good.
No,
We're just analyzing it.
yeah, anyway, so there's still more, though. I am super pumped about that. And in talking about Sam Witwer, we were speculating about this as well.
We were.
Yes, you will see. There's a new animated show coming out.
Oh.
And it's going to be Darth Maul animated show.
Really?
And possibly having Sam Witwer voice him again.
Really?
Dude, yes.
A
Go
Darth
with Sam
Maul
Witwer. Do
animated
everything
show?
Sam Witwer. I'm fine. I think Sam Witwer should run Star Wars.
I think he should write it, direct it, and act in it.
I completely agree.
And color it.
Yeah, dude. And color grade it.
He's got no. He should hand draw it himself.
Oh my god.
Write it and direct it, and then it would actually be like airtight.
Yeah, it'd be really
And
good.
nobody
And
could screw it up.
yeah, because they even said he's one of the only people that's ever out Dave Filoni was Sam Witwer. He called him on.
How is Maul getting a shot? Are they going to announce that at Star Wars?
I think so. I
Celebration?
think Celebration. Although I don't know if Sam Witwer's going to be there. Is he on the list? Can you look it up?
depends.
They have the host or the guest.
Are they filming it in Japan? Is that why they're going there? Because all
that
of this
would be-
cast is going to be there, and then they're going to start filming the next day.
just coincide?
Just go out in the woods.
Well, they do have the visions. The
Yeah,
Japanese
that's-
visions happening again. So I think they're trying to tie that in.
I see.
And I think that's going to be a big part of it as well.
Yes,
So-
he's attending.
He is attending. Well, that makes sense
Sammy
then too,
Witts.
because we were a lot of people, us too, were speculating that the end of the year that we're going to be getting another animated show, and I think it will be this Darth Maul one that they've probably been working on this whole time.
That's probably what they've been doing.
Just been under the radar. I hope so. I think that is epic news. Anything with Sammy Witz is
it's good stuff.
it's good stuff for me, honestly. So, all right,
There's
so much more.
Dustin's dropped the next 4 years of Star Wars content in 20 minutes.
Dude. Well, it's not me. It's Den of Nerds. We're just repeating it back, but
I
I'm
don't
really
know.
excited about it, and we're just kind of speculating on top.
We're
of
trying
it.
to interpret what he's saying.
Yeah, and
filter
connecting
it
some of
through
the
our thing.
dots.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a lot going on,
Yeah.
and from all the rumors and stuff we've heard, it's like we are connecting a lot of these dots for.
And none of them are Andor related
Quality.
yet.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
We're getting there.
Don't you worry.
Bismo already brought up something. So
Yeah.
I know that was another thing. If we have time
We'll
to
get
get
there,
into
yeah.
that. But so then the next thing is Leia is going to be in season 2.
Let's bring it.
Which is crazy. I don't know if Nick were here. I'm not sure if he'd be as excited about it. What do you
CG
think?
Leia.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be CG or recast? That is a huge question.
Let's bring in Luke while we're having it.
Why not?
Where's Han?
No, because it's got to be. That's the thing again that drove me crazy about Ahsoka season 1 was because like they had to like. No, the girls are the best. The boys are dumb. I hated that. I hated that.
That was so silly.
In Ahsoka season 1, other than Hayden, they had to treat Hayden with respect because if you don't treat
you
Darth
can't be
Maul,
hating on Hayden.
you can't be hating on Hayden. People will revolt in the streets. So I didn't like that, and I hope that's not. I hope that's not why they're just bringing back Leia. But if they do bring back Leia, it makes sense. So too, they did reference her.
Yeah,
with C-3PO in season 1, and she's obviously a very big and integral part of the New Republic.
Yeah.
So I could see them bringing and then saving Luke.
Yes.
For Heir to the Empire,
And
which
she's
is
got-
what is supposed to be happening in this. When she comes back, it's supposed to be leading. Her having a part in that is supposed to be leading up to Heir to the Empire.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. If that's the direction they're going, then yeah, play with all these little pieces and then make a movie about it.
Yeah.
And maybe if you cast or whatever you do to bring Leia in, maybe you use Leia in the movie or not. I don't know how you do that without. Would you would you do a CG in the show and then cast a real person for the movie?
Right.
That would be dumb. Just cast him for this and be done with it.
Cast them, baby.
Castaway.
Castaways. Yeah, I know. So
How are the boys dumb, Dustin? With the exception of Thrawn, because he should have been portrayed much smarter, says KG.
do you want? I don't know if we should get into this right now.
just say Ezra.
Ezra
Ezra was a little bit weak, I will agree. And who else was there? There weren't any.
There weren't any other boys. That was the thing.
Yeah, it was mostly just the girls kind of.
Balin was actually. I'd say Balin was probably.
Balin was pretty boss.
Balin was boss. I did like Balin.
Oh, you
although
didn't like?
He still was like on a leash though the whole time. Balin was just basically like there to keep it somewhat interesting.
Marak the Dust. You
Yeah,
didn't like
Marak
that?
the Dust. Of course, that drove me crazy. Marak the Dust. They did my boy Ezra horribly wrong.
It was the, like
he
the,
rode
the,
on the.
the
He rode on the
side
back. He rode on the flipping back.
It's yeah, that's true.
My friend is the Force. He had 10 years to develop.
It was.
Don't get me
It was
started.
basically KG what they did to Ezra and how it didn't feel like our Ezra from
Thrawn, too.
Rebels.
Ezra.
And then Thrawn was
nerfed.
softy.
Yeah.
But then they had superpower
Soft
chick.
serve Thrawn is what that
Soft
was.
serve Thrawn, and they had
Soft
superpower
serve.
witch chick or whatever, and then she ended up like dying.
Yeah, it was pointless.
The whole
in
thing
a
was
lot of
about
ways.
her though, practically.
Yeah, practically
Like,
was.
I don't know.
Anyway,
But
sorry.
Didn't she die?
Again.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah. Anyway,
Ahsoka season 1 was kind of confusing, is what we're saying.
Yeah, it really was.
Ahsoka season 2, they're like, let's just bring in everybody.
Matt Risman says it's complicated, Dustin.
It's complicated.
It is
That's one of my
complicated.
favorite
That is very-
shorts ever. And,
So-
and lines.
Don't get me wrong. I like strong women as well in Star Wars. I'm not putting down women.
Shin was good.
Shin was great. I'm
made
not saying
sense.
some of the characters weren't fantastic. I just felt like they were going into a trope in Star Wars where it was
Yeah.
like you got to put down the men to make the women better. And anytime you put down somebody to make somebody look better is not right, in my opinion.
it felt like
it doesn't
they did-
matter which way it goes.
And you were also a little stung from Mandalorian season 3 because it felt like that same thing kind of happened.
Exactly. It was
And a lot of
It
the
wasn't in a vacuum.
recent series, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
Obi-Wan was pushed away because of Reva, and you just go through the line.
and
Yeah.
mostly too, it also comes back to the source material for me. It was the fact that it was a continuation in a lot of ways of Rebels, and all of the characters in Rebels made sense, and they all worked so well together.
Yeah.
And they all had their place. Nobody was putting someone down to make someone better. No, there wasn't this forced tension. It wasn't,
Yeah.
and there was male and female characters that were all boss.
Yeah.
And I loved all of
Yeah.
them. And then you get this, and it was like, what? It's a pale imitation. It was a pale imitation.
Yeah,
of
it was
what-
Luked. Ezra got Luked.
Yeah.
KG, I don't think Ezra had enough time to shine. He was only in the second half. And that's true. Like, why was he the MacGuffin?
Yeah.
If Ezra was there, he would have solved a lot of these issues, and they wouldn't have to have the little argumentative moments. And that's fine if you want to give Sabine the Force, like, but
Right.
like, does that have to be? Why does that have to be the whole arc of the show? You know, that's not.
It was-
This says to Marcus, as I said it, as I'm going to say again. Sabine don't need the Force.
Yeah,
She said
it's a-
didn't. I just interpreted it bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
Anyway, we don't need to keep going down.
It was a
Hu
trap.
Yang, Matt said Hu Yang.
Yeah.
We like Hu Yang.
Hu Yang was the best. I think honestly was the best part of that show for me.
Is he coming back? He's not on the list.
Oh my gosh, Hu Yang better be there, or I don't even know if I'm gonna watch season 2. No, I'm obviously gonna watch it.
Well, there's a lot of other things to watch if Hu Yang
Yeah.
takes a backseat, but
Yeah.
Hu Yang was smart and wise.
Yeah, for sure. He was awesome. He did a great job. All right, there's even more though that we got to cover here. I am excited for Leia. I just hope they do a good job. I actually hope it's a recast. Mostly so I don't have to hear Nick complain about CGI
CG
for the
Leia.
next 3 years.
Skylark wants a recast as well.
Yeah,
I think
so. That does it. Two
You know
for
what?
two.
I'm going to call it here. It's going to be your daughter.
It has to be.
I think it has to be her daughter.
Abeloth's daughter.
Yeah. And no, it's actually just going to be.
It is Abeloth's
It's going to be
daughter's daughter.
It's going to be Natalie Portman
Oh my
de-aged.
goodness.
It's Natalie Portman's daughter
No. It's because they cast Natalie Portman as
as Abeloth.
Abeloth,
but she was
they're
the
just
mother
gonna use
of
her
Leia.
mother of Leia. So then
And
they're just
Leia-
going to de-age.
They're gonna de-age Natalie Portman.
Doesn't look anything like Carrie Fisher.
Because some grandkids look a lot like the grandparent, so it's just Natalie
Yeah.
Portman as Leia.
There's a little bit of makeup thrown on, like
Or-
they do
or
the
actually
She
buns.
would be pretty
Or
smart.
better yet,
just do it.
better yet, make it Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah,
because she was
played,
the stunt double.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
well, not the
Well.
stunt double. She was the decoy, not
Thank
the
you,
decoy,
yes.
the whatever it was. Yeah, decoy basically.
Yeah,
the stand-in.
The
for,
stand-in. Yeah, like the meme was like, "I'm sorry, I failed you." She's like, "What are you talking about? That was your job. You were supposed to die instead of me."
Seriously. He's like, actually, you did a great job.
You did a great job.
Rest in peace.
That's what you're supposed to do. Thank you.
And also from the
Checks
Lego,
in the mail.
the Lego Star Wars, and it's like, I'm
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I'm Queen Amidala. I'm Queen
That's right.
Amidala. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, and I agree with KG. Natalie doesn't really need de-aging. She looks so young.
Yeah, I know. They take those that magical elixir thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Botox, isn't it?
We don't know.
I think it's something else way worse, but
Oh,
I don't want
okay.
to go
It's
into
called
it here.
But
Buttocks.
Nyaki's here. Oh my goodness.
That's way worse. Rest in pieces. What up, Inyaki?
Miyagi.
You guys making me want to watch Ahsoka episodes 4, 5, 6 again? Really?
Yeah,
I'm glad. Well,
Yeah,
'cause-
don't watch 7 and 8 because they suck, and also 1 through 3 suck.
Well, they just
That's
should
why
have
he
just
picked
they
4,
should have
5,
just left
6.
it open ended, but like not wrapped up Thrawn even. Like just like end it with meeting Ahsoka or what's her name and save the rest of it for the next season.
Yeah,
Instead of trying to rush it.
What
you
they
know?
should have done was just a movie.
It's like, what are they riding across the field? Was like open fire. Like that was just pitiful.
I know we don't. Let's stop reviewing Ahsoka.
You're so off target.
We're never gonna get there.
Well, Leia's
All
in
right.
season 2.
Yeah,
so.
she is, which I think works, and I'm excited for that. That works, girl. I don't know. Let's keep moving on. All right, so we got some other maybe not so good news. Again, you got to take this with a grain of salt though too, because Den of Nerds, I think he has his favorites as well from what I was getting in the video.
Yeah.
I don't agree 100% with him on a lot of these takes because he loved Ahsoka and he thinks Ahsoka. Well, he didn't love Ahsoka. He did not like 7 and 8. He said they were hot garbage as well, but he didn't say that specifically. You can watch the video anyway. But he obviously thinks that that's the route more so that Star Wars should be going. He's definitely a Dave Filoni fan, which I am to a certain extent as well, and I always have been until. I'm still a fan of his, don't get me wrong. I just think he needs some correcting a lot of things. And I think season 2 sounds like it is going to correct a lot of those things as long as he can pull the story together and tighten up. Just tighten up, Dave. Tighten up.
And there's things like when you get promoted from, you're really good at one thing and then you get promoted, doesn't mean you're going to be really good at that thing too right away.
Right.
Filoni got his start in animation a long time ago, and then he worked his way up, and he's been making great stories. But he had the story group, maybe he had a better team around him, and all of a sudden they're like dumping the whole
The
whole
everything.
Disney Plus universe on his back. You think he should be able to handle it, but it's just too much. He's such a deep thinker. I think he just needs too much time probably would take 30 years for him to write the story that he really wants and make it airtight.
Yeah, I think he had way more time for Rebels and a lot of the animated shows as well.
Yeah.
And he had George
He
helping
was solely
through all
focused.
Yeah.
Not trying to be creative over all the shows.
because
and,
there's other
answer
things
all
going.
the
It's a lot less pressure too because
Yeah.
people don't know about that stuff. Like
Yeah.
animation is it's almost its own thing in a lot of ways. So people don't know about it. So you can just drop these epic things in there and
Yeah.
people aren't expecting it because they're
Exactly.
looking over here. Like here's the movies, here's the live action stuff that everybody's looking at. And then you sneak this in,
Yeah,
and then it's just boom, that's actually way better.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's some other news though that we got. Well, actually, before we move on to that one, I would just say, are you guys? Does this news get you more or less hyped for season 2 of Ahsoka? Dan.
Wow. Oh, we'll do a poll too.
Definitely makes
do a
me
poll.
curious.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me curious. Yeah. Like I wasn't furious after season 1 as much as you guys were probably, but I
wasn't furious. I just was disappointed.
I was really enjoying Ahsoka when 4, 5, and 6 came out. You guys were tepid. I was really enjoying 4, 5, and 6.
Wait,
What?
I liked it too.
Yeah, you were I'm talking about the boys because Matt was there
He's
too.
talking about me.
Dustin, Nick, and Matt. I mean, to varying degrees.
I had reasons.
You were okay with 4, 5, and 6. You're like, okay, this is going somewhere.
Yeah, those
And
were the
then
best.
I was really enjoying 4, 5, and 6, and then 7 and 8 kind of let me down. And then
Yeah.
once basically they stepped on Ezra, and then so on and so forth. So, but this, will begin to make things right. Maybe, I don't know. Is this really going to go in the right direction? I'm willing to give Dave another chance.
Same.
They've just
I agree.
They hit it so bad. So it's you got a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah.
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 I want to see Ezra 180 what he was. I want to see the writing not just be you could have just done this thing instead of fighting all those zombies. It's just filling in random things just for what?
Yeah.
To make a theme park ride out of it or something.
That was one of my biggest issues with Ahsoka.
So if they bring all these characters in, you hope that they can craft them. For me, Tony Gilroy, if he was dealing with all these characters, I know that they would all be treated exactly like they were supposed to be. So Filoni knows these characters. He created half of them, or at least has played with them before in his animated show. So he should be able to, but I had that same thought with Ezra and the Rebels crew, and it didn't work out. Where's my man... what's his name too from Rebels that never got a cameo. Not Chewbacca, but his.
I know what you're talking about. Garazeb Aurelius.
Yeah, Zeb Aurelius. Where's
Yes.
Zeb? I want
That was a disservice too. It was you show that was one of the cleanest CGI characters, and we saw him for one scene. We're
I know.
What the heck, dude? He looked amazing.
I presume we're gonna get more Santeva. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. It makes me more curious. I think it makes me slightly more excited than I was. So they got room to grow with Sam Witwer coming back. That's a big one.
Yeah,
Showing up. That's a big
showing
one.
up. Yeah, that's a big thing.
And we didn't even talk about recasting. What's his name? What we have talked about.
Yeah, because that's happening as well. We'll see how he does.
Shin and Balin were the bomb in season 1.
They
So
were-
I do want to see that finish up.
That's the sad part was they were the most intriguing characters.
far.
And for me, it was Marak until they did him dirty. Oh my gosh! But anyway, fact checker. What about you? Are you more or less excited for Ahsoka season 2 because of all these things?
Yeah.
And what news hits you hardest, and what are you most excited about?
Oh boy.
Shirtless. I knew it.
I didn't say that.
You were
But
thinking it.
I do like hearing about Liam Neeson probably the most.
Ooh, yeah.
And Ewan is
Shirtless?
great. Oh my goodness. No. Just hearing his-
Buttocks.
Oh my goodness. No. Gosh.
Sorry, it's a
repeat it.
Man.
it's a family show. Fact checker. Why are you saying these things?
I'm not even thinking it, to be clear. But no, just even hearing his voice is awesome. And I can't believe I forgot it from book or Obi-Wan show. So again, that's sad. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited. I like a lot of the characters. My bar might not be as high as others, which is fine. So I'll look forward to it and
pretty
enjoy
low.
it. Hopefully, if they do it well.
Good points. Yeah.
Nothing to add.
No, we completely agree with you.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on a lot of those points. For me, just for the way I left off with Ahsoka, I'm excited for all this news, and I'm excited to see. So, in a vacuum, I'm excited to see all of these actors back in Star Wars. Now, as far as Ahsoka season 2 as a whole, I'm tentative. I want to give Dave a second chance, and I'm really hoping that I'll be pleasantly surprised. I think I'm going to go into this one with a little bit more lower expectations, so that I'm not like as disappointed in some ways as I was for the first one.
Lower the standards just a smidge.
Right.
We can't put Ezra on a pedestal like we did.
And I always try to be as fair as possible. I'm just being honest with you guys how I feel about it. There were definitely moments in Ahsoka that I really liked. It was just more disappointing to me that they had so much to work with, and I felt like they just did so little.
On the wrong thing. Like
that was the thing. I don't hate the show. It was just like, again, it was missed opportunities, and it felt like a lead up to something else that I was like, well, then why did we even do this in some ways?
Yeah, I was fine just hanging out with the Rebels characters because I like Rebels a lot.
And I think it should have been that. It should have been just a Rebels continuation, or name it something else, like the New Republic, or like
you made Sabine with short hair and whatever. She's an artsy girl. I mean, that's all fine. Like the live action versions were fine. They looked good. They casted well. I
thought the casting was good.
Just the dialogue. It's just give me like a dialogue-less thing.
Yeah.
Bismo did remind us, would you have been happier if it had been stabbed instead of, or if her hand had been cut off instead of stabbed? I forgot about the stabbing that she survived.
Oh, yeah. He broke it down. He broke it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Liz did.
Because he thought there was a way that it could have happened. But I'm just saying that threw me early.
Yeah.
I was like,
that was one of the...
What are you trying to pull?
Again, I just felt like they did not show Sabine. Like Sabine, I felt like was one of the worst, and Ahsoka were the worst handled characters in the show.
Why would you give us Reva flashbacks?
Yeah,
that's
that was
all
the
it
other
did.
thing. Yeah,
it's like Reva flashbacks with the lightsaber stuff.
I do agree that I think a hand being chopped off would have been a lot better because she obviously is very techie, and it would have made sense for her character being Mandalorian, figuring that out and going through. It would have been a lot more believable than being stabbed and the next day being like, yo, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl boss.
For sure. But Bismo said, Dustin, wait, remember the script. You guys like Ahsoka season 2, and I like Andor season 2.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait, we switched? I forgot the script.
Right,
Dang it.
Right.
We got off target.
Stay on the script.
We went through an Imperial Ice bombardment. I lost so many scripts. In that.
Everything got frozen.
Everything got frozen.
But yeah, he said, and then I don't end up liking Ahsoka season 2, and you guys do.
Yeah, well, Ahsoka season 2 was awesome. What's your problem?
Honestly, I feel like that could happen. I feel like he might end up loving Andor season 2, and we do not like it. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's hopefully possible. Not. And then it'd be more ironic than anything, and then us loving Ahsoka season 2 and not enjoying.
That would be quite the turn.
But how about we just hope that we all like all of it?
Yeah,
that's a great point.
What if we all agree and nobody ever disagreed again?
Things would get pretty boring. But
let's go to the moon.
But it would be a bit more peaceful. What?
To the moon, Alice. Let's go to the moon.
It would be more peaceful. World peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
nobody dies.
Dan for the next.
That's right. Imperial Emperor. What?
Whoa! Why are you going to the dark side?
No, I was gonna
ruler.
No, that's the thing that all the pageant winners say.
Oh, world peace. Yeah. I'll be the Mr. America.
That's probably going to be in Ahsoka season 2. Actually, it's going to be Dan winning the Miss America.
That's right. Pageant. I'm going to do it. I'm going to win it. Bye, George.
Oh man, you're almost out of time.
Yeah, we got to move. All right. There was so much. I don't even know what we were going to get to. We're going to rapid fire through these last things. So
we can talk about it maybe more next week too.
Yeah.
Well, no. Sorry, cut that.
All right. Remember the script,
I'm sorry.
There's so many scripts.
I'll just read the last 2 pieces of news. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's what do it.
Mention that Favreau might be done after Mando and Grogu movie, and that he's sick of Kathleen Kennedy. I think we've heard this before.
Yeah, it's been a rumor that's been out.
But it's probably not wrong. It's probably true.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
He got burned too many times.
Yeah, with the Book of Boba Fett, especially unless they're doing a Boba Fett season 2 and they're giving him another chance, but according to this, that's it. So
I think he's been burned so many times. He's a contractor too. That's the thing. He doesn't have to play by their rules, but then he's forced to with KK, and he's a visionary. He's not someone who loves.
Yeah.
I mean, he will work. He works well with a team. Obviously, you can see that, but he's also one of the guys who crafted the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it seems like when he left, that's when things started going worse.
Yeah. Well, and if Marvel's cranking back up again, he might be dipping back into that universe.
Yeah, that's possible.
Because Star Wars kind of took over when Marvel was slowing down. so to speak, I guess. And now
Kinda,
Marvel's cranking back up with Avengers and this, that, and the other. He might be back in that universe, Spider-Man. You know, you got
he
all
could do
kinds of
whatever.
stuff.
Like that's the thing. I will follow Jon Favreau more than I will.
He's a fascinating creator, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's had more wins. I'll say this: he has 10 times more wins than Dave Filoni or anybody at Lucasfilm has.
Yeah,
and it's a tragedy in some ways that they're running him off.
It's true, but possible overhaul of Lucasfilm, Star Wars, multiple camps in Lucasfilm, somewhat a new direction. Yeah, so basically, Lucasfilm overall is basically looking at an overhaul of their structure, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's time, especially if Kathleen Kennedy leaves. Yeah, it's all going to get an overhaul.
Retiring.
Just happens,
Right,
yeah.
but it's, you know, it has to go in a different direction because you'd have to have somebody else in charge. And if somebody else is in charge, then you wouldn't want to just bring somebody else in and do the exact same thing.
Right.
You know, especially if it's not making you money and the shareholders are mad and the fans hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to go a different direction.
It's a lot of negativity.
Yeah, if your sports team is failing and then you hire like, you know, a coach that was exactly like the coach, and he's like, I'm going to do the same thing that the coach that just left here did, and we're going to continue this train, and don't worry about anything. It's like, wait, we're exactly worried because the last coach did a terrible job. You would never do that. You would say, we're going to do something different.
We're going a different direction.
We're going in a different direction. Yeah, so that's
Emperor's New Groove. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's right.
all
How to
the
let
different
you go.
ways she's fired.
Yes.
I just watched it. We just watched it. The
Yeah,
other day.
it's fun.
Yeah, that's great. And then the only thing, the Mandalorian Grogu movie. You want to hit that one too, real fast?
Mandalorian and
It's
Grogu
up to.
Uh,
I can say.
Oh
this.
yeah,
you
yeah.
wanna
Go
say it?
ahead. It's a side mission. Oh yeah, Mandalorian and Grogu movie might be more of just a simple side mission, possibly not as big as some of us wanted.
At least what he's hearing in these rumors here for the Dinner Nerds, he's hearing that the Mandalorian Grogu movie is not going well and that people are not excited about it.
Yeah.
Apparently that it is, people aren't excited that it was just made basically because they didn't know what else to do. And they were trying to bring films back to Star Wars. But this person, anyway, that they're talking to, and you got to take a lot of this, though, because a lot of this sounds like this person might still be half in KK's camp. That's the funny thing, because he's talking in here about like different camps in Star Wars, and this is all coming from one source and one like direction. I just wonder. Not saying it's not true, because it definitely very well could be true, and I think it even more credence to that is the fact that Jon Favreau, if Jon Favreau's not excited about it, and he's basically checked out and just doing it because he's obligated to, then it's gonna be it's just gonna be a side mission as a movie, possibly pointless. And
but I mean, a movie's a big deal.
Movies are a big deal.
You have direct dollar for dollar return versus a show, and I feel like if Favreau's putting his self on the line as the director, yes, he's directed movies that probably didn't have a huge box office turn, but like this thing is like gigantic.
This is the first Star Wars movie back in theaters.
They just can't afford for it to be middle.
And I'm afraid, and that's what this person was saying, that it's possibly going to be a huge bomb.
Yeah,
that it's just not going to be what people are expecting.
I'm still hoping for the opposite of that. I'm still hoping, but this doesn't give you, when you start hearing these things start to add up, everybody's saying the same kind of thing. I feel like we heard something similar to this already. Maybe we were talking with somebody else.
There have been rumors about this not going well, and that it's because it's just Road to the Hutt, and that Embo is the villain.
It's a confusing,
Embo. It sounds like more Dave Filoni stuff than it does Jon Favreau. And even in this rumor, they talk about how Jon Favreau directed some of this from his home because he was sick of KK.
And it was all in the volume and all that stuff.
I don't
know.
It
makes you nervous.
It does
because it was all in the volume. But they got a year. I said my positive side is like they got a year. They could go reshoot.
Right.
They could, but we know how movies go when they go back and reshoot and cut it together and slap it together.
Especially in Star Wars with KK. I mean, she will basically redo the movie if she doesn't like it. And if she does that and totally nerfs everything, I don't know. It's a difficult time in Star Wars. It's difficult to be a creator, especially an outside creator coming into Star Wars. Because
I just got to say the name Mando and Grogu, though, could, if they market it well, just the recognition alone, a lot of people are going to go see it.
Well, that's what they're banking on, but they lost
even if it's bad.
But they lost so much goodwill with season 3. If this was the movie that immediately came out after season 2,
but most people don't even watch season 3. They just know Grogu. because Grogu is
You
Star
mean like
Wars
casual
right now.
fans?
Yeah, casual fans.
I
kids,
can see that, and that's
all
why they're
the
going.
kids.
That's why they're going for that.
You know what I'm saying? If they release it this time next year, whatever, where Minecraft just came out, technically next year you got like Mario 2, but like those types of movies, if you kind of target those people, it's going to make $1 billion because they're going to all take their kids to see it.
Potentially.
True.
But Mandalorian Grogu wasn't, it was still kid.
Is it kid friendly
That's
or is
like,
it going to
what's
be
the
adult
rating?
friendly?
I feel like it's probably going to have to be
PG-13.
PG-13,
Yeah.
which, I
That
mean,
doesn't
there's
have to
only
be,
one
but-
Star Wars that's PG-13, and that's Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So, I don't know, but
It's confusing.
that's a little unfortunate to hear. Again, take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if any of this is happening, but yeah. So that is all the news. We'll keep moving on. So there's so much there. Again, if you want to watch the full video, you're more than welcome to. Again, not for kids, but that was our kind of breakdown of it. We're trying to put all the pieces together for you, speculate, talk about it. We'd love to hear you guys though. Let us know in the chat, in the comments below. What do you think's happening? Do you like these leaks? Do you like these rumors? Do you think they're coming true? Do you think they're not? Are you excited for Ahsoka Season 2? Are you excited for all things in Star Wars? What are you most excited for? We want to hear from you guys. Let us know down below. All right, let's keep moving here. We got Andor real quick. We're going to jump into this real quick. Andor is less than 2 weeks away. Andor Season 2 is less than 2 weeks away, and we are getting pretty pumped and excited for it. That's why we're following the Yellow Rick's road to Andor Season 2. And one of the controversies that came out, I don't really want to talk about the controversy as much because there's been some really great scenes and some shorts and stuff they've been putting out that I think look really epic.
It's going to be, there's an adult possible like negative thing in there that's real life that shouldn't probably be in Star Wars, kind of what
That's what. So again, Dan and Nerds was talking about this again, but I've heard some other. He doesn't. He straight up does not like Andor. He does not believe that Andor should exist in Star Wars, basically.
Okay.
Which I can understand his point to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But at the other side, from what we've talked about, it's like no. Then where's his argument with that? With like Marvel, is comics, and you got like Deadpool, and I'm pretty sure he loved Deadpool. And that's definitely not for kids. Marvel's comics, that's a lot for kids.
No, yeah.
So it's kind of like, I get it in some ways, and I do agree to a certain point. I just think if they're going to do this, they need to be clear about the age restrictions for these things. And also, it depends on the context of the story. Because already in season 1, they definitely touched on some adult themes. And I think the difficult part for me about all of this is what I've always said is you can do different genres in Star Wars. And I like the fact that Tony Gilroy has done that with a little bit more mature Star Wars. I know that George Lucas originally, and his idea of Star Wars has always been 12-year-olds, which I agree with. And I say never lose that for like main things.
Yeah.
But I do think there is an audience, and a very popular audience that enjoys more adult themes in Star Wars, and it still works in Star Wars because you have so many adult Star Wars fans.
Yeah,
give them something to watch too that they like. I'm not saying going off the rails, and I do think this is pushing it.
If what he's saying is
true,
it's not necessary. You can still be adult and not have to have that kind of stuff in there. But
agreed.
Yeah,
but I think they're going to use it as a point to show again how terrible
the Empire
is.
Yeah.
And the atrocities that they did.
And you'd think if this is done correctly that somebody, would win in the end, right? To fit the agenda kind of thing,
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, it could be a powerful point of, reference. But at the same time, certain things I feel like that I enjoy about Star Wars, even if it's rated PG-13. I mean, this is rated PG-13, right? Or TV-14 or whatever.
I think this season is going to be higher than
it might be higher,
but I don't know. There's a lot of dark stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of Andor being sophisticated, a little bit more adult, and that sort of stuff. Although I don't watch a lot of like mature rated stuff or whatever. I don't need that in the Star Wars. But I just want something that's not like, slapstick, people falling down, tripping over whatever. I just want a little bit of an educated writing style and educated characters is what I want. And yeah, they can be in certain scenarios, like I already had a little bit of that in season 1 that are more, adult situations, I suppose. Even the very opening scene where he's going into is kind of already kind of pushing the envelope for Star Wars.
But even KG makes a good point. George Lucas had spicy sleeves in Return of the Jedi.
And Leia was not wearing too much.
Yeah,
exactly.
so I mean,
it's
that was
also
PG back in the day.
right. It's pushing. It's always pushed the envelope to some degree. Yeah, you're true.
So
you're right. But
I think a lot of this for him is stemming from his just dislike in general of Andor. A lot of it is, and I see his point as well, and I don't think that needs to be in there.
yeah.
But again, it also depends on the context. It might go over a lot of kids' heads if they are watching, which they really shouldn't be in the first place for Andor or anything like Rogue One related for the most part, because it deals with more adult,
Like you don't need to
things.
see that to get the Star Wars feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of course terrible things happen everywhere. I'm sure in Star Wars. It's a crazy place.
Well, and Tony Gilroy is about making it feel as real as possible.
Yeah.
But keeping it in Star Wars.
But he's definitely pulled from. I heard him talking about like different revolutions, like all the revolutions.
Yeah, and they're messy.
Yeah, and when people occupy, terrible things happen.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
Read a history book.
It is a reality. Not that we need reality in Star Wars, and I think that's kind of more his point. He likes more it is more for the 12-year-old coming of age hope and space wizards and all that stuff.
Yeah, but if what's his name, like KG says, he was fanning the Andor hate flames. Yeah, no, I wouldn't take it. It's not necessary.
It's not necessary, and it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah,
We always try and judge everything when we see it. As much as possible. Obviously, we hear rumors and we go in sometimes with a certain expectations.
Right.
Sometimes those expectations are met, and sometimes they are not. Unfortunately, in the last few years, they have been met.
Yes.
But we are hopeful, and from what we are seeing, it looks pretty dang good. And again, it depends on the subject matter and how they portray it. So with that controversy, there's still controversy. It's been going on for a long time. People hate Andor, just hate Andor, I think, half the time because it doesn't feel like Star Wars to them. But that's subjective. And I think, but for me here, I'd much rather watch, and I'm having a good time watching Andor again. Whereas if I went back and watched Ahsoka again, I guarantee we would not have as fun of a time as we are having
Unless it
with.
was 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I mean, and not even just Ahsoka. I mean, like Obi-Wan. Like,
Yeah.
Boba Fett. Like, is anybody really excited to go back and rewatch that? Not really.
Gizmo was excited to watch Ahsoka again.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. We've been enjoying watching Andor season 1. Is it perfect? Is it a perfect season? No, it's not.
Right.
There's some slow things, there's some whatevers, but it's pretty sophisticated, and the characters that he created or wrote, I'm very excited to see more of all of them in season 2.
Yeah.
Just about all of them in season 2. Are you kidding me? Cereal? It's ridiculous.
Well, and
It's kid friendly.
And the things that we can forgive about Andor being a first season for Tony Gilroy, I think is what I'm trying to do with Ahsoka as well. And I always caveat that is technically Dave Filoni's first outing in live action.
Yeah.
And that is why I was disappointed, but I don't hate it. I just disliked the way he did it. But it was also, again, I have to remind myself that, okay, this is his first time doing this, dude. Like, you know how difficult it is? Like, it's easy for me to say on this side, like, dude, what are you doing? But all the pieces, again, have to come together. And that is not easy, even from like our small, tiny fan film point of view.
Yeah.
Well,
We ripped our own thing apart, but we ran out of time. And there's that too. There's always budgets, and was he cramped because of the lockdown stuff, and
so many variables.
You got budgets, and when you got KK as a producer, like how do you even manage? You
And-
got some cuckoo KK.
Yeah,
Cocoa
and
Puffs.
she obviously had some mandates. I don't believe.
Well, they were mandates. The films have said that, and Disney wouldn't hire people. Like there's lawsuits out there now because people were getting hired because they had to be this, and this, and all the films had to have this.
And I don't think Dave would have done some of the. I don't think he would have done Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra. I don't think he would have done them as dirty as he did without, I think,
that kind
studio
of stuff, probably pressure.
That's my opinion. So that's but he still played ball. That's the thing. He is technically the what is he? Isn't he like he's pretty high up now? He's
like some kind of executive,
the creative executive of the entire Lucasfilm. So there's only one step higher than you, which is KK.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
But
you have the creative control. So that's why I'm interested to see how season 2 goes. But
it's a mess. But
it's crazy. Anyway. we could talk about this forever and a day, but we do have the after stream to get to, which is, speaking of Andor, we're going to be watching Andor Season 1 watch along with all you gonkers out there. If you're not a member yet, what are you doing? No, it's totally fine. But it's just $1.99 a month. It really helps out the channel, and we love having you guys for our fun watch alongs. We have a blast with those, dude. We've been having so much fun. But we're going to be watching the Narkina 5 arc tonight, and I am really excited about this arc tonight. That is my favorite arc of all of Andor. Honestly, maybe even of live action, but we'll have to see after watching it again tonight.
Seriously.
Live action Star Wars. It is so well done and so well written. In a vacuum, if you just gave me that as a movie, I think I would be happy. That's
totally.
So anyway,
if you become a member, you can see something else that happened in this show and this channel involving Narkina 5. If you go back in the history books.
Yes.
There's a tease.
There's a
there might be
tease.
some more coming about that as well. So it's perfect timing.
Definitely perfect timing. All right, guys. And don't forget to come back next time, same place. We have the Andor Talent on Target next week. Don't forget to get your submissions in. We want to see all your excellent talent out there. You guys are the best, and we can't wait to showcase it. We're going to have a lot of fun next week. So definitely come back for that. Then we got War of the Cosmic Tyrants. If you haven't watched or listened to those, definitely do that as well. And that's coming back next Friday. So we got lots of things coming out here. And a lot of other things dropping potentially as well after we've made it through the ice storm on Hoth.
Thank goodness
Imperial.
it didn't hit the first week of Andor coming out. That'd have been horrendous.
I mean, there's still time.
You got your generator though now. We'll travel. We'll sleep in a car and we'll watch it. We'll find some free Wi-Fi.
The mobile Dan van comes
mobile
back.
Dan van.
We will kill. We will kill as many Tauntauns as we need
That's
to
for
go
sure.
watch Andor season 2.
Yes, there's Tauntauns. They won't make it.
The poor Tauntauns, man.
You need to make some bigger ones though.
Yeah. Well, you know, budgets.
That's true. Just add water.
Just add water. It grows. All right, guys. Well, we'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. We appreciate every single one of you. And Dan loves you.
Well, yeah. I'm speechless.
Pinchers up. All right, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to always stay on target. Bye. And now, sound effects with Stay on Target.
Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew.
You got me with the pew-pews, man. What the heck? All right. See ya.